Thank you so much. I didn't know that there would be so many people right here, like on site and online. So thank you so much. I'll do my best. Won't disappoint you guys. So throughout the day, we've been like uh, attending talks on different practical or the industry kind of use of generative AI. So instead of looking there, I started by with looking around by looking at my teachers because just as Sherry has shared earlier on, when some colleagues were afraid that AI would actually take the dialogue away from students and teachers or among peers. We are trying to bring the dialogue back. So that's why I'm growing a little bit ambitious here and still an ongoing process. So I'll start from a personal journey for now. And if you're interested in joining me, I'll try to persuade you the best I can. Okay, so this is my topic, creating an AI embracing inter-institutional teacher and researcher community. So let me try if the pointer works. No, for this kind of slide. Okay, before I move on, I'd like to introduce myself a little bit more. This was me, I believe. This was me a couple of years ago, which looks very different from now. So I am currently teaching language and linguistics in a college, Poly UCPC actually. And I'm also a linguist interested in large language databases and models. So not really a tech guy, but as an end user, I think I'm at a legitimate position to try out different AI tools for, facilitating teaching. Okay, so as a lazy, should I say lazy, as an end user of AI, what I want to do or hope to do would be to leverage AI to streamline workflow. So I must say, you can see this presentation is generated by Tome or to me. I'm not sure how it should be pronounced. So basically, I have my draft typed to the Word file, and this tool generates a very beautiful presentation for me. So this helps me streamline the workflow quite a bit, so I can focus on, sharing with you what I know about AI and what I am doing with AI with my peers. So I'm also thinking about how to use generative AI tools, not limited to ChatGPT, of course, to create teaching materials, which I did because I also used some, image generating tools like Stable Diffusion and Bing Image Creator to generate images for, storytelling, a little storytelling session in my class of writing. And of course, when you want to write emails, I think the last thing that you want to do in a daily life of a teacher is to reply to emails. So perhaps emails are, through ChatGPT or through generative AI tools, gives you quite good templates. But I can assure you, when you send me emails, I won't do ChatGPT responses. Eh? Okay. But this is June, right now, June 2023, and I came to know about ChatGPT in early 2023. And I thought I was the one who is so updated with technologies and stuff. So I try out different tools like, yeah, I wrote it down actually. I did try the ChatGPT thing, not just on poll. I used Stable Diffusion, Chat PDF, and other generative AI tools like Bing and Google Bard and so on. But I found that it's pretty hard to catch up with the game nowadays because when we have the GPT-4 coming about in March 2023, there are like millions or hundreds of thousands of apps integrated with the ChatGPT API in the market. So I think it's also a good chance for me to think about whether I can look around and see whether my colleagues are, using these tools as well. So some quick stats for you, just to show that how pervasive generative AI tool is. So according to the market research, the estimated generative AI market value by 2032 will be around 200 billion US dollars. Okay, and the more broader context in the US, we can find that in the Statistica survey, nearly 30% of respondents, the Gen Z respondents, are active generative AI users. But when we look at the more local context, saying that by Chan and Lee from Hong Kong U, they found that Gen Z university students are reported to be using generative AI more than teachers. So, of course, this raises concerns by teachers in terms of the discrepancy in terms of AI acceptance between students and teachers. And there are some sharing in my division, in my department, in an academic retreat. So we have some small groups discussion on the AI in education for teaching and learning. And some teachers' concerns are over the impact of generative AI tools on assessment. And I'm sure we now have some principles and guidelines, guiding students and teachers on how to use generative AIs in their learning, teaching, assessment. But as we will find out very soon, actually, universities place a lot of focus or emphasis on assessment, but not really learning and teaching. So in the retreat, we discussed and we found that students are over-reliant upon generative AI tools. And although now we have GPT-0 or, on Turnitin, you have the AI generative content detector, but still teachers find difficult in detecting AI generated content in assessment. And because my division also comprises colleagues teaching Chinese and Japanese and French as well, they found that ChatGPT is actually less friendly to teachers of other languages. If you attended Professor Dragan Gazovich's talk this morning, you will find that in terms of equity, the large language model ChatGPT is trained upon is predominantly English. So you can find that if I am a Japanese teacher, can I use ChatGPT? Maybe, because they found that it actually performs better than Chinese, strangely. And I also read through some university guidelines. They are publicly available on, I can say, a PolyU and CU websites. So the linguistic nerd in me did a quick analysis on the guidelines and found that the open and embracing stance the university holds is actually not so, because when you find the guidelines like 3-4 pages, they're mostly talking about what the university is going to be doing in order to safeguard the academic integrity and so on and so forth. And teachers and students are in the guidelines are always told what to do, but without being told how specifically they can use ChatGPT or other generative AI tools in learning or teaching. Because usually universities will always take the lead of telling us how to be preventive to avoid different kinds of ethical concerns. So what about us? What we can do as teachers if we are working around or we are working based on the guidelines? So because of the fact that I can't really work on my own, that's why I convened a scholarly interest group. I changed the word from research to scholarly because I don't want colleagues to think it has to be like journal publications or grant-seeking opportunities in the group. But of course, it's possible. So we established that in spring 2023 under the research interest group of teaching professional development. And this comprised mainly of language teachers in my division. Well, of course, we also had one science and engineering scholar at our college. And notably, we also have one assistant professor from the I, who is Dr. Svetlana Chigeva Haddad. Okay, so that's why I'm extending my invitation to all of you to see whether you would like to join me. So the objectives of the RIG would be to serve as the interface between AI tools and teachers, because we found from casual conversations with colleagues or in the academic retreat, we found that some language teachers haven't even tried ChatGPT, although it's now free on poll.com. Okay, but I'm not saying that the teachers or the colleagues who aren't using these tools are not good. Maybe they have their reasons, but if it's some kind of inevitable, and if we are going to embrace it, at least we need to get a grasp of what it is. Okay, and another objective would be covering topics around multiple literacies, including academic literacies, like honesty, transparent use of generative AI, multiple literacies, information literacies, because ChatGPT is not always accurate, and of course, digital literacies. Aside from ChatGPT, what other tools we can use in order to, again, streamline our workflow to make our life better. And then we also hope to inspire teachers and students to become responsible users of digital technologies in these important contexts, especially when we are at school. So what we have done so far, we met in April. So we are going to have another meeting perhaps in summer. So we also have presented 3 papers in an internal academic forum and at this symposium. This morning, my colleague, Dr. Kimberly Tao and Dr. Melody Liu have also presented. And we submitted one scholar proposal on working out ways to identify generative AI-generated content in students' writing in order to train teachers based on their expertise, because we found that it's not just the language features that can be detectable. We can also rely on some kind of a teacher's expertise knowledge in their own fields. For example, my colleagues teach subjects such as literature and media studies, like film studies. They actually have the knowledge to tell some contents from students' essays are actually too general or out of context. Like when we talk about taxi, students writing would use yellow cab. So, but yellow cab is not a Hong Kong artifact. So we immediately know it's not original. It's like AI generated content. Okay, and we also have one internal fund granted, focusing on the perspectives and attitudes of teachers and other stakeholders, such as students and the school management, on the use of generative AI in professional and academic contexts. So we hope to extend the invitation to you all if you're interested in being interviewed, or if you want to turn yourself into a KOL in podcast or video cast, let me know. Okay. And looking forward, I'm not sure how much time I have, but just to be forward-looking a little bit. So we'll recommend through the research, we hope to recommend curriculum design as well as assessment design, focusing on criticality and insights. I think this is something that AI cannot do at this moment. Although we can ask them to, generate argumentative essays or discussions, but what can be, critically come about, like their reflections or the critical insights or the academic insights on a particular field knowledge, is yet to be generated by ChatGPT. It relies more on our experience, like human experience in the topic. So we also hope to propose like credit-bearing or non-credit-bearing courses on generative AI's use, because prompt engineering is now a thing. So maybe I'm one of the colleagues who are hopping on the bandwagon of using all these buzzwords, but I find it very relevant right now. If students can use prompts to help solve their problems through generative AI, maybe their performance will improve. Okay, so As I said, we also hope to investigate university stakeholders' attitudes towards generative AI and trying to engage in more R&D, research and development for enhancing teachers' AI literacies as teaching professional development initiatives. So talking so much about the individual level or individual perspective, I also want to wrap up the presentation on why we are doing this, because we want to wrap everyone in, trying to delegate things so as to share the workload, to share the burden. But essentially, we hope to improve teacher quality through teaching professional learning community. So we get together, and by sharing what we know and sharing what we don't, we actually get more feedback. And through this dialogic process, okay, we can improve. And of course, if colleagues are not too into research, but other scholarly activities like teacher sharing or student workshops, some RIG members reflected that maybe they want to design a workshop for students on using ChatGPT for post-editing after writing essays. So maybe they can work on projects together that eventually facilitates student achievement. And also, we are also perhaps introducing a new term like curating literacy. So how well we are curating resources from, individually, like how we are going about the internet and look for resources, or maybe we are reaching out to ask other teaching practitioners on how to use generative AI tools and to broaden or to tighten their professional network. Again, with AI, we are not trying to take away the community element or the society element. We are trying to bring us together because of AI. Okay, so maybe we think about why we are doing so much as teachers when universities are already giving us guidelines or general principles on how we are going about the realm of generative AI. So we talk about agency is not the same as autonomy, because it would be more like independent from the university's policies or curriculum guidelines. So we're more like sensitive to the changes in context, but at the same time, we are the agents of change, because when we are exploring actively the development and adaptation of teaching and learning strategies, especially powered by AI, we are actually facilitating decision-making and policy. So we are going back up. So if we are looking at the more top-down view, waiting for the university to fat to give us, instructions, we are actually, providing some kind of nuances. I think colleagues, presenters today have already done a lot to help modify or help firm the curriculum and the policy. And also by encouraging dialogicity, by encouraging communications or discussions, we hope to increase the flexibility about teaching practices, not just about reflecting, but also acknowledging our weaknesses. And that's why we get together to get things done about teaching practices and responsibility for long-term development. Okay, so this is a quote from Biester and Tedder. So actors always act by means of the environment rather than simply in the environment. So it always results from the interplay of individual efforts, available resources, and contextual and structural factors. This means that it's different from autonomy. When autonomy is more or less about independence, agency is more about interdependence, how we are relying on each other. So that's why this is an open call to join our RIG. So I currently don't have the Google form because this is the, face-to-face symposium. So this is my second time presenting at the I Symposium of Professional Development. And this is really my pleasure to be here, like face-to-face meeting with you guys. So if you are interested in knowing more about the RIG, you're welcome to meet me during the break. So hopefully when we meet, maybe the first thing that we can think about is to, develop some kind of a hub or a pool of useful generative AI tools and prompts. So today, I think my colleague Dixon mentions the use of Notion. I actually have a Notion hub on the current research activities in my division and other useful information about scholarly events across the institutions in Hong Kong or maybe abroad as well. So I hope to build a hub online and offline in order to collaborate together in teaching learning projects. So again, it doesn't have to be publishing. It doesn't always have to be about publishing. So if there are anything interesting about the teaching projects, workshops, and whatnot, let us know. I may not be the one who is involved. I get involved in too many things right now, but I can also introduce you to my other colleagues so that you can form smaller research groups. So I think I missed one more word. So all teachers and researchers are welcome, but I am also aware that among you guys, the participants online and offline, there may be students. So if you're interested in knowing more about, because I talk too much. Yeah, so if you're interested in AI in education for teaching and learning, you're welcome to join me. So I look forward to meeting you outside or right now inside this very room. I think this is it. So I will upload this presentation on Sked. So if you don't have a name card right now, or if you are online right now, feel free to drop a comment on Sked so that we can connect. Otherwise, let's meet outside during the break. Thank you so much.
So,
Yes. Sherry?
I have a question. Yes. Hi, Eric. How are you?
Yes.
I was wondering, I'm really interested in this organization that you are, or interest group that you are planning to set up or you have set up.
Mhm.
So, who is this open to?
It's open to everybody, including teachers, researchers, and students, if students are interested in what we are doing, or if they want to work together with us.
I mean,
Oh,
what if people are out of Hong Kong?
out of Hong Kong, you mean?
Yeah.
Of course. Why not? Now we can meet online, so it's
Okay.
not a problem anymore.
Okay. Count me in. Thank you.
Yeah. So I'll count you in. Yeah.
Yes. Yeah. Lovely.
Thank you for your presentation.
Right.
This is Piers. Okay, so very interesting about your presentation. So what are the possible research areas or interest in the days ahead? Maybe do you have anything theoretical or practical in terms of these two areas?
Okay. So far we are looking at in one of the projects, we are looking at identifying the common features in human-generated text, AI-assisted writing, and AI-generated content. So maybe it's based on the GPT-0 score, or maybe the Turnitin score. But we also delved into some linguistic analysis to look at the features. Maybe, for example, the use of adverbs or adjectives. Are they too generic, or are they repeating too much? That kind of stylometric analysis. But as I said, the research interest group also comprises scholars from not only from the languages division, but also from engineering. So currently in my college, but not in my research interest group though, my colleague has got a fund of developing an AI feedback tool for students. So I think there will be a lot to explore in terms of the efficacy of that kind of writing system and the effect on students. So I think the data will be very rich. Please.
My students are very concerned about exam, IELTS. Okay, will there be anything related to AI to help them pass IELTS with 6.5 or 7 in IELTS writing?
Okay, I think this is something very practical and something very, you know, urgent about. So if students want to get quick feedback on their writing, I think ChatGPT can do some of the work already in terms of the structure of some kind of essay writing, the vocabulary that they can learn. But I don't have a definitive answer for somebody developing a system for tackling specifically the IELTS test. But this can be an area to explore together. Yeah, exciting. Thank you.
I have a question.
Will, thank you.
Yeah, so I'm thinking, how would you help students who have dyslexia or any learning difficulties, autism, or anything like, just
Haven't thought about that.
No?
Well, I think one of the ways to encourage students to, dyslexic students to speak up or to write up would be through storytelling. But, most language teachers are not designers, are not illustrators. So what I did, let me share with you some of my experience, but maybe not directly relevant to your question because I don't have a definitive answer for now. So I have a group of students from business and health sciences who are not very good at English at all. So maybe they are very weak in writing even like simple sentences, but they're actually quite proactive in talking. So I asked ChatGPT, or I actually wrote some prompts to generate images to help them talk about their hopes and fears about using English in the classroom. And I've got some very interesting comments. Although it's just one session, I found the power of storytelling as well as the power of generative AI in helping us achieve this. Because I'm not, in the first place, a storytelling teacher or a literature teacher, but I could find some of the students are very envious of some students, especially Hong Kong students who can speak relatively better English than them, especially students from the mainland China. So when they see a picture of sunset or sunrise, all they could see was sunset. I don't know why. But at least we can find something out of them, out of the regular curriculum. Among all these writing tasks, we didn't see their sentiments or their behaviors behind their English learning. But through this kind of activity, with the help of generative AI, I get to know a little bit more about them. So perhaps this can be replicated in other situations, for example, to help students with dyslexia.